has officially started as of today. He's chilling in jury selection as we speak on this live right now. You know? Crazy. It took way too long. Yeah. I'm gonna just let y'all know just like that, you know what I'm saying? To the 1,600 people that's in here right now. Bro, trial is started today. There's no more free Melly. I swear to God.
YNW Melly's trial for the 2018 incident that left YNW Sakchaser and YNW Juvy passing has officially started today. And here is everything that you need to know. On October 26 in 2018 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, two YNW associates, being Sakchaser and Juvy, would sadly pass while leaving a recording studio, alongside YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen. Now, YNW Bortlen himself alleges that while driving home inside of the vehicle with the three YNW affiliates, an opposing vehicle filled with rival street members would then block their vehicle off of the road, then rolling their windows down, used firearms against YNW Melly's car. YNW Bortlen, being the driver of this vehicle, then swerved the vehicle off of the road into an empty parking lot, trying to protect his side of the vehicle, but in the process would then leave Sakchaser and Juvy's side of the car a wide open target to these rival street members with firearms. After roughly a minute and 30 seconds of non-stop firearm action, this is how allegedly Sakchaser and Juvy would pass, according to YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly. But instead of calling an ambulance to the scene immediately for their two best friends who are now in critical condition, GPS evidence found through YNW Melly's cell phone revealed that they sat in an empty parking lot for roughly 40 minutes, not getting any sort of help for their two YNW affiliates, and not even an urge to drive Sakchaser and Juvy to a local hospital. Thankfully, once Bortlen did drive them to the hospital 40 minutes later, YNW Melly was seen on that GPS evidence sprinting home on foot, leaving his three YNW affiliates to themselves, with YNW Bortlen going to the hospital alone. Once arriving to the hospital, Bortlen would then get Sakchaser and Juvy help, but it was obviously too late at this point, as the incident happened over an hour ago. Now, a police officer then interviewed YNW Bortlen at the hospital after he was done going to the scene of the crime to try to find any sort of evidence. Here is that exclusive interview.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there, there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
Now, with YNW Bortlen explaining the situation, it's clear the detectives were not buying a single thing that he said, as it makes no sense when you look at the crime scene. Now, while the police were trying to build up evidence, YNW Bortlen and Melly would be let free until further notice. And it wouldn't be until February 13th, 2019, where YNW Melly would announce this on Instagram. No, I did not get locked up in Washington, but I am turning myself in today. A couple months ago, I lost my two brothers by an incident, and now the system wants to find justice. Unfortunately, a lot of lies and rumors are being said, but no worries, God is with me and my brother at YNW Bortlen, and we want y'all to remember it's a YNW family, and I love you. Now, when YNW Melly would turn himself into jail, this would get reactions from many rappers, where Kodak Black would share this on Instagram.
Yeah, man, free that boy Melvin, man, free Melly.
Man, stop playing. We're not playing like that. Oh, we go
While also sharing a clip of him and YNW Melly at a local shopping center before his arrest. Now, 1 month into YNW Melly's jail time, Lil Durk and King Von would have a phone call with Melly, and strangely enough, this would be one of YNW Melly's last phone calls from jail after being permanently banned from using it.
Bust, you got tippy. Bust harder than mine.
It's me. It's you all. I said, you had to tip me.
With the Dirk phone call now going viral online at that time, it would get the attention of Meek Mill, who would share on his Twitter, "Free Lil Melly, he's innocent. Let's watch the facts of his case so he doesn't get railroaded. It's in Florida, so it might be on TV." Which would then later cause Boosie to tweet, "I'm in prayers for YNW Melly tonight. I was in the airport and he paid for my food and magazines, and he really showed me a lot of love and respect." As he said, "Nah, OG, you ain't paying for anything. I'm about to call for the prayer warriors for you, bro." And with the YNW Melly case now getting worldwide attention, it would even lead into a Snoop Dogg tweet that went viral on Reddit that states, "That Melly boy Cole, youngin's doing questionable stuff in the industry now. Is he guilty though?" Now this is an alleged tweet, as it's now since been removed. However, it was at this moment where rappers would stop reacting to YNW Melly in general, as this is when more and more evidence would begin stacking up, revealing the possibilities that he may have actually did this crime. And it all started when YNW Melly was arrested. His cell phone was turned into the feds, and this one iPhone 10 would be the reason he looks so guilty right now. As it starts with law enforcement noticing that YNW Melly revealed in his Instagram DMs that he might have did it. YNW Melly was having a conversation with a burner account on Instagram. As the passings of Sakchaser and Juvy were just hitting news headlines, YNW Melly would make a huge mistake. As reported by Complex, they stated a piece of evidence stating there is one Instagram exchange that took place hours after the passing, which was obtained by Complex via a public records request. In it, YNW Melly's Instagram account says, "I did that," in one message, followed then 2 minutes later by another message saying, "Shh." Now the timing of these Instagram DMs will be used by the state to make the case that those messages amount to an admission of YNW Melly's guilt. Now YNW Melly's cell phone revealed most of the evidence in this court case. As in even more evidence files, it states, and I quote, "These particular cell phones, which were both iPhone 10s, were on the T-Mobile network." And so T-Mobile has a very interesting feature where it will tell you the environment the cell phone is in. So from these cell phone records, I can tell you the exact moment demons got out of the car and staged the drive-by location. Also on YNW Melly's cell phone, they found a video on it. In the evidence report, it states, "Then also, we have a video of Mr. Demons admitting to doing an act towards two individuals in the head. This video was on Mr. Demon's cell phone, which was brought to my office by Jameson Francis, and that's how we had that, and that is all of the evidence that Your Honor has." Now with only the courtroom seeing the video, sources say Melly's cell phone had a 15-second video where YNW Melly is admitting to doing it. While doing so, he's using a hand motion of him mocking using a firearm. Now this evidence actually makes perfect sense when you hear what witnesses said. As the lead detective on the case said in a deposition, YNW Sakchaser was set to receive $200,000 from Melly's record label. Now the police attempted to subpoena 300 Entertainment during their investigation in order to investigate this, but the detective explained that the company refused to honor our subpoena. Now YNW Sakchaser's mother, Jana Thompson, expanded on the $200,000 payment during her March 2022 deposition. Though she specified she didn't know exactly who the alleged payment was from or what it was for, she said that her son, YNW Sakchaser, reached out to her a few days before he passed. As she says, "My son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts, and he was concerned about his sister's whereabouts, and he was just concerned. Like something is gonna happen to us, and he told me that he would not get his money." As she continued saying, "He said, I'm probably not going to get my 200 grand. I'm probably not going to get my money, Mom." And here's where it gets even more crazy. Now around the time of YNW Sakchaser's passing, his music career was just starting to take flight. Now he dropped 2 hits named Tropical as well as Back End. They were going crazy online. It got the attention of Melly and his record label. Now according to records, they claim that YNW Melly allegedly did this act towards Sakchaser to avoid paying him a $200,000 price tag to join his label. Now if this turns out to be true, this is how YNW Melly will be eligible for the penalty, as he used money for a motive. Now this explains why prosecutors are not interested in putting YNW Melly behind bars for life, and instead they're going all out for the penalty, as the parents of Sakchaser and Juvy want justice for what happened to their boys. And with all of the negative evidence being released about YNW Melly, it was only 2 weeks later where his manager 100K Track would say this during an interview.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle their stuff in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
Trying to relieve some stress off of YNW Melly's shoulders as his image was being ruined online, he claims that if Melly's defense team is doing as good as a job as they claim, Melly could actually beat this case. But as usual, however, when anything good happens to YNW Melly, something bad usually happens next, where we would see 2 months after the 100K Track interview, on September 30th, news outlets starting to report YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers to plot a prison escape. On April 11th, 2022, Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demons' attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys in order to aid the escape. As additional information provided by the source said that Lewis had an illegal item in jail, as well as narcotics that were not prescribed to him. Now, YNW Melly's mother would even react to this statement.
Okay, so I'm at work and I just seen this crazy story. First of all, this is just another tactic for them to try to literally just tarnish my son's character and everything. They do not want him having attorney visits in person, which will cause for ineffective counsel. So we went to court for that, and they took his phone calls and they have him locked down. They had no evidence whatsoever that his attorneys did anything wrong to prove these accusations, but they knew it would get picked up by the media. So when we get ready to pick a jury, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be, oh, this kid tried to escape. Oh, this kid tried to do all these things. This is all fake, because they do not have a case.
Now in the video, Melly's mom mentions how the feds have no evidence against him, so the prosecutors are trying anything to make him look bad in front of the jury. So now with the YNW Melly trial now set to begin today, we're gonna see if all of this evidence is true.